What's up, what's up, what's up? Good afternoon. My G's, my G's. Wednesday. Hope you guys doing well. Yes, sir. All right. Good to see you, fam. Welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well. Time to get back to work. What do you guys think? Yeah. That's what we're gonna do today. Hope you guys are doing well. Looking forward to today's session here. Let's make it happen. We're cooking. The family's cooking. You guys are absolutely crushing it. Yesterday, you saw what happened to gold, right? It absolutely got wrecked. However, we're back at a major zone. We're going to talk about that in a second here. I want to give a big shout out to the LTA fam. The amount of messages I got, people going through this book right here, actually taking their time to read it, right? They take out the value, they implement it, they're putting in the work, they're back testing, they're focused, they're disciplined. Much more than motivation, right? Much more than motivation. Anyways, looking forward to step up my game, hopefully inspire more of you guys to, you know, find some success in this beautiful craft, the craft that we call trading. Looking forward to it. Let's make it happen today. Let's see what we can do today. Horrible DJ today. Again, horrible DJ. Sometimes I'm nailing it though. Sometimes I'm really freaking nailing it. Anyways, let's see what we have here in the chat with us here. Let me know, how is it going for you so far this week? How is everything going for you right now at the moment? Everything going well? Are you crushing it? Are you in a drawdown? Are you losing? What's the status? What's the current situation? Let me know in the chat, please. Looking forward to go over it here. In the meantime, a big shout out to Dr. Finbar. Nice trade in the Telegram, by the way, man. Very, very well. Lizzie trades, going great. Lelouch, win-win. Pete Sasa says terrible. Brad says focusing on focusing. Focusing on focusing. I like that one. That's a good one. I'm gonna remember that one. Good one. Crushed it today since I opened the charts. Nice. Web Nomads 11. Welcome. The Carebox says this has been my best week so far. Had my biggest win to date. Over 1,000 USD last Monday. Nice. Congratulations. Well done. Consistency is everything here. So stay consistent this week. Let's stay sharp. Okay. Let's stay focused. Super important. Ajas is 810 pips captured today in London session in gold. Woo. 810. Did gold even move 810 pips though today? Anyways, maybe you talk about 80. Anyways, still a great trade. Anyways, fantastic stuff here. Isan says love from Dubai. Gonna be there, man. Gonna be there next week. Oh no, 2 weeks from now we'll be in Dubai. I will be in Dubai. So if you're in Dubai, reach out to me. Anytime summit studying. All right. Amazing, fam. Anyways, welcome back. Good to see you guys. I want to give a big shout out to the trading floor. You guys are always putting in the work and effort here. We're going to talk with Ryu in a second. Ryu will talk about silver, right? We talked about silver yesterday, and we're going to definitely go and talk about it too, because it's important for gold as well to really pay attention to what's happening. What is happening with gold? Gold has been dropping, right? That's happening pretty much right now. You can see that already. Let's go to the charts right away here. Let's go to the charts right away. You can see it. Will you be streaming in Dubai? I will not be streaming in Dubai because I will be in Dubai when I'm outside of my streaming schedule anyways. So you guys will not even notice I'm gone. I'm going to be back as usual around the same time. Anyways, let's talk about the markets. Let's talk about gold at this particular moment. Also, we're going to talk about the dollar. Look how strong the dollar is, by the way. Do you guys see that? The dollar is holding up really, really well, right? Dollar is doing its best to break through supply. It had a range. It broke out of the range. It's holding up that trend, that intraday trend. We always talk about this in our LTA war map here. If you go to page number, if you have downloaded the book here, go to page number. I'm going to open the virtual edition right now. Let me just quickly grab it here. Go to page number 13, okay? Page number 13 of your ebook right here. And read this part, okay? Let me actually go full screen real quick. Page number 13 and read this. The LTA freaking framework right there, okay? And it says number 3 is intraday. And specifically what we call the intraday trend. All right, the intraday trend. Look at the dollar right now at the moment. And look at how it's relatively strong holding this intraday trend right here. You can see multiple touch points around the dollar index holding up. We had this range. We are breaking to the upside right now. This looks pretty decent right here, right? This looks pretty strong on the dollar. If we understand what the dollar does, we might have a better indication of what's happening on gold as well here, okay? Now, if we go to the correlation coefficient, you can see that the current correlation with gold is minus 0.86. Minus 0.86. That is a negative correlation, okay? That means if the dollar is strong, gold is weak, all right? So if the dollar looks strong, then gold might look weak on the charts. And this is exactly what we have been seeing today, right? Gold has been underperforming. Gold actually broke down here. Matter of fact, gold looked promising and it showed us a long setup during the London session. That long setup failed, broke down again, and we are now back at major support. So we're going to talk about gold right now and where we are. But again, the dollar is at least holding up really, really well, right? You guys can see that very, very clearly here. Now let's talk gold. Okay, and let's go over what we are seeing right here. What are you guys seeing? Please let me know in the chat here. If you guys look at gold right now on the daily time frame, what is the first thing that you see? Let me know in the chat, please. I'm going to be looking at the chat right now. Let me know. Let me know, let me know, let me know. I would like to hear this from you. Clearly dropping. Clearly dropping, yes. Clearly dropping, clearly on the weaker side. There is no doubt. But we indeed tapped, and you guys are saying it correctly already. Thank you, Shipley. Thank you, Abdeb, Emmanuel. Yes, sir. Marco, Asante, Manifeste. Yes, exactly. We are indeed at a major daily demand zone right here. You guys can see that. This is a major daily demand zone right around there. You can see that very, very clearly. This is that zone that we have been talking about right around here. You see that? This zone right there. Let me actually highlight this for you. You guys can see very clearly the price stepped into first major demand, okay, after a major drop. And keep in mind, gold dropped right now around 8% already in 2 days, right? 8.5% in 2 days. This is what I mean, guys. We're saying it every freaking time. What comes up must come down. At some point, must come down. And you can see how freaking hard it can drop if gold drops or if gold rises aggressively here. So anyways, we are now at a major demand zone on the daily time frame, right? This is something that you have to pay attention to. You have to take in consideration, okay? So that's one layer. That's one thing that I think is important to pay attention to, and that is the daily area of demand right here. Why is this a daily area of demand? You can kind of see it right here, right? We created a base and we expanded right here aggressively, and you can see how price reacted from that daily demand already throughout the London session. So you can see that right there. Price immediately reacted from that daily demand right here around, sorry, not the London session, the Asian session already. You can see that right there, right? This is the reality from a daily standpoint right there. So let me mark out the daily time frame one more time, and then I will show you another thing that I think you should know about right now at the moment here, okay? And I'm just giving an objective analysis so you can also make your own decision of what you think is best for today here. And I'm going to show you some scenarios that I'm going to look for gold in order for me to get excited about it. But right now at the moment, that daily demand is a serious thing here, okay? Now, if you go to the 4-hour time frame, then also look at what we have been creating here. It's actually really, really clean, by the way. Look at that. Look at how we have been building up this trend right here. You see that? This trend has been mitigated, and I think this could also be a reason why price responded so aggressively from that initial zone here. So what we're dealing with, I'm not sure you guys can see it here, but what we're dealing with is a major area of support for gold here, okay? And this is where a lot of swing traders will probably step in, to be honest. This is where a lot of swing traders will start trying to buy some gold at this current moment, because you have a very clean trend. You have that pullback, right, into that trend as well right now. It's very, very clean. But at the same time, you know, we're also holding above daily demand. So you would say, wow, that is like bullish, right? That's like a perfect moment to start buying some gold right now, right? Just because of this higher time frame and the daily demand as well, right? That combination is very good, okay? However, there is one thing that is kind of holding us back here a little bit. And what do you guys think that thing is? Let me know, guys. Let me know in the chat here. I'm going to be a little bit more interactive with you guys today, because I want to definitely learn what you guys are knowing right now, what you guys are seeing in the market here, okay? Dollar index. Exactly. So gold is actually at a very interesting point right now. Right here. You can see how gold has been holding up. You have the daily demand in combination with that trend. Now, the trend is an additional layer. It's not like a primary confluence for me, to be honest with you. But a daily demand zone and respecting from a daily demand zone is, to me, pretty freaking important, okay? But at the same time, if you look at the dollar is also pushing up really, really strong right here, and is holding up really aggressively right now. So what needs to happen on the dollar? Well, the dollar needs to do the following thing here, because the dollar is also, and this is also important to mention, is in a higher time frame area of supply right here, right? Dollar is in a higher time frame area of supply. However, we are creating a range. We are in an uptrend still. So we haven't seen a shift yet, right? We haven't seen a trend shift yet on the dollar, and gold is still, from an intraday standpoint, also still trending downwards since, you know, we pretty much broke down aggressively here. So if you look at the dollar, like the ideal case scenario will be obviously a dollar reversal, okay? A dollar reversal will be the ideal case scenario. Why? Because if the dollar will break down and it will turn that range into resistance here, okay? And it pulls back and it creates a rejection. How do we call that, guys? How do we call it in the chat? Please let me know. This rejection right here, right? A breakup, a breakdown, retracement, range, sell off, right? Rejection on the dollar right here. Yes, you could call that a trend break. That is not really what I'm trying to look for here, because it's, again, additional. It's about the ranges for me, right? Supply and the ranges, the internal structure, okay? Trend is secondary. You can see this right here. That would turn into a CME play. That will be the ultimate scenario for a potential revival on gold here, if price is actually holding up, right? That is kind of the thought process right there, okay? So what I want to see, I would love to see the dollar showing more weakness right now. And at the same time, gold kind of holding that daily zone, a daily demand zone, and that exact trend that we are forming here. That trend we have been building, by the way, guys, this is not just a trend. This is a trend that we have been building since August, right? So this is a move that we're seeing right now here on gold that we have been building up since August, and we are now finally pulling back towards this major support. Why is this also support here? You can see that this was kind of the last aggressive push before a major run, right? And this is where we are, and this is why we are now holding that rejection here, or holding above this zone here. So this is gonna be the do or die moment, the do or die moment for gold, and a potential flip, or it's just gonna break that demand zone. If we do take out this demand zone on gold, there is most likely much more downside continuation possible, right? So this is kind of what I call for gold right now the last line of defense. This is truly the battle where price will really show if it's gonna be worth or not here. Keep in mind, we're talking also a huge psychological number as well, okay? The $4,000. The $4,000, okay? So strong support, dollar needs to show weakness, and then I think it will be very, very clear of what gold will potentially do around this here, okay? Now, anyways, throughout the London session, I had a failed setup. I will talk about that setup as well here. And that is a setup that we always freaking take, right? And that is that if price steps into higher time frame demand, it breaks above the range right here, and it pulls back, then we look for the continuation at least towards the previous range, which was actually the range where we sold off from yesterday when we looked at on stream, right? When we were looking at this range, when we looked for shorts, and when price eventually came down, we were looking for that flip, that reversal back towards that range, but immediately price got pulled back. Gold couldn't break higher because of the dollar strength, right? And price reversed and price came down here. So what happened when gold dropped, gold actually got rejected again from this exact level. Let me just mark out fixtures for our profile, and you can see how price then broke down again, and how that failed setup turned into another opportunity during the London session, which you can see right here, which was this range, the fixed very area low. You see that? This is that red line, that pink line that we've marked out here. That's the fixed very low of this range. And the moment we broke below it and we held that resistance, we came back to that demand zone again, okay? We came back to that same demand zone again right there. All right, so that's kind of what we are seeing here, that rejection and that sell-off, okay? That's it. Forex Gold's stream lagging again. Let me know if you guys are noticing this too. We have some issues here. I don't think it's lagging now, to be honest with you. But if there are some issues, please let me know. Multiple people are experiencing this. Then I think we'll figure something out there. Anyways, I have an appointment. I have an appointment with my provider. All right. But it seems to be good on my side. Okay. Anyways, gold is now back at demand zone. So what will be for me a potential, confirmation from a bullish standpoint? Well, if you want to take the bet, right? If you want to take the risk and you want to, let's say, look for a setup here. This is from a swing trading standpoint where people will add on to their position, right? This is where people will buy gold, right? Because people will simply look for a long around the daily demand zone. They place their stop loss below and they target, let's say, the highs or something like that, or they just get involved and they manage to trade with a very small lot size and they try to see if gold can indeed flip, right? That is kind of the swing trading perspective. So if you are, let's say, someone who wants to hold trades overnight, it might be worth it to pay attention to it. But I would definitely reduce your risk exposure. I would not go full margin, thinking that you bought the perfect dip and that this is just going to be the bottom for gold here. And it has to do mainly with silver here, okay? So let's ask Rio. I'm going to get Rio on board here in the VIP real quick. Let me see if he's here right now. Let's see if our guy is here. Been absolutely crushing it. Absolutely crushing it here. Let's see if he's available or if he's busy. Let's see. Busy trading.
something that I could show you where that is the case.
What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
What's up, Lorenzo? How you doing?
Hi, Lorenzo.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Great.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
Ryu, I'm loading your screen. Let me see if I can make it work. Let me see. 1 second. There we go. Nice, nice. So Ryu, my friend, you wanted to talk about silver here?
Yes. Yeah. Very important one. Let's start with the macro. Silver was like the gold as well, just pushing up and up until it tapped into this weekly supply that I marked here. Immediately the same week, it had this strong rejection, and I was like, okay, this is a very important supply. So I went down to the 12-hour, and you can see here, this was the first 12-hour supply created. It never pulled back into it, but it had a strong impulsive candle to the downside. And then same thing happened here on the 12-hour. So this already is a sign of a weakness for the silver, and I marked up an important daily demand down here. If you go, you can see it already got rejected multiple times, but it's not holding very strong. And so something I'm looking at is it's very close to taking out that daily demand. So if it's gonna just weak out the daily demand and then potentially pull back to that 12-hour supply is something that I'm looking at.
All right, so you're saying that if you take out the daily demand zone, that we're looking for a pullback, and that might cause, for example, gold to pull back to silver to pull back in the short term, heading back towards supply to look for potential rejection.
Yeah, also gold, as you explained it, is holding that daily demand very, very well. So I wouldn't be surprised if silver just either take out demand, or even if it doesn't take out, I see a pullback to that 12-hour supply here.
Right. Okay.
Here.
Yeah, let's see if we can take out a daily demand on the silver chart. That's going to be something to pay attention to for gold as well, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. Cheers, bro.
Anytime. Cheers.
Muted. Anyways, Ryu is also sharing his setups right here in the Telegram group for you guys here. So a big W for Ryu. All right, a big W for Ryu in it, please, because we're gonna look for a new sidekick, and he might be the guy. Who knows? It's gonna be interesting here. He's sharing already all his setups in the Telegram, and he's streaming live almost every day already in Discord. So you're gonna hear a lot more from him in the near future here. It's gonna be awesome. Looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Ryu, my friend. We're gonna see what we can do here. Now, anyways, this is a good point he's making, right? Because he's actually talking about silver right now. You can see that silver is still holding in this 12-hour area of the month as well. So both silver and gold are holding here. Silver looks slightly weaker than gold, right? So the question is, if silver starts breaking and pulling back, I think this will be a really good confirmation for gold as well from that standpoint, and to look for any pullback setups or pullback trades from that manner. So you can kind of see this right now, right here. What do I want to see? Well, pretty straightforward, guys. I just want to see if we can break structure, right? And if we can start breaking above the London and the Asian range today. So I'm going to mark out the Asian range with you guys right here, okay? And I'm going to just see if we mark out this range, what happens if we start breaking above the point of control, all right? The area where during the Asian session today and the London session, the most volume has been traded. So if we can manage to break above this level here, I think that's kind of the safest bet to start looking for long setups right there, okay? That's kind of the thought process of what I'm aiming for. So I'm not really 100% certain that we're going to see trade from that perspective here. But you have to understand that, yes, we are in daily demand. We have that 4-hour trend, right? Now it's all about the internal, the lower time frame confirmation. Keep in mind, gold dropped super aggressively, and patience is absolutely required here for me personally to say I'm really comfortable with looking for long confirmations for the continuation plays, especially when the dollar is still holding up so strong and clearly trying to break again, trying to push up higher. Okay, so that is the reality here. Do you think it's good to look for short setups? Let me know what you guys think about it here. What is your thought process? Let me know in let me know in the chat what you guys think about shorts. Is it anything that spikes your interest right now? Let me know. Okay, let me know. What do you think about the rumor of gold Bitcoin correlation? I read it a lot on X yesterday. I do not believe it, but do you think there is important to take this in consideration? We've seen this a lot. If Bitcoin is dropping for a significant amount of time and gold has been rallying and then gold starts dropping, then you see Bitcoin spiking. Like we've seen this happening many times. The rotation is there. I have been backtesting it and I have seen it myself as well. Yeah. Yeah, I have been seeing it ourselves right here. Yeah. I said it in the weekly analysis today. I'm actually not that bearish on Bitcoin at the moment. Everyone thinks that Bitcoin will tank. I'm not that bearish for now. If you can break it, shorts will be good. Yeah, you will be dealing with the internal rejection right here. That's kind of the only possible way we could be looking for short setups right here. You have this level right here. It's called the fixed value low. You can already see how this acted as resistance. If you take shorts from here back to demand, that is your only opportunity pretty much, right? That's your only kind of runway you have because you are in that major higher time frame support. Right, so if you're looking to short it, keep in mind you're coming from higher time frame support, higher time frame demand. You don't have that much runway. So if my risk to reward ratio is not beneficial enough, then it's not worth it for me to take, for example, right? In the morning, it made sense because price came up and it got rejected here perfectly. And, you know, it already played out. If it comes back again, kind of a different story, right? What happened today was that price came up and then it broke down and then it sold off. Right now, we're already down. Yeah. Hero Spot Moment says if you can't break, short will be good. Yeah, we just talked about that too. Yeah. We're going to pay a lot of attention to the 4086 and the 4114. That's the most important zone to pay attention to here. Absolutely. Yeah. How do you change the colors on the volume fixed range? Settings, style, colors, my friend. Colors. Make a screenshot. Yeah. Very specific colors indeed here. Yeah. Is price going to push back up? Let's see. I mean, the dollar right now is really, really, really strong. It's really trying to break through here, all right? I did have another trade setup in mind in case gold would not give us a trade today because of the higher time frame support, but not an internal confirmation. So no follow through, right? You don't really want to short in support, right? In demand, higher time frame demand. It's always more tricky. And that was the EURUSD. If the EURUSD pulls back and the dollar pulls back, right? And the dollar, let's say, holds this range that we talked about right here, and it tries to break up higher, I think the euro can just simply follow through right here, right? And this is where we have this range on the euro as well here, the EURUSD. You can also see how the euro has been trending downwards and is still showing weakness at this current moment right here. So that was an alternative for me if the dollar would come down, but not break down. And that is EURUSD as well. That was another setup I was looking at in case gold would not give us any of the setups pretty much that we're looking for. Yeah. Loma BMT, I'm short on gold, bro. Hey, welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Good to see you again. We had some fun. The last trade, I remember. That was you, my friend. The real G. Hope you're doing well. Let me know which level you're shorting from. Yeah. In the meantime, guys, if you appreciate this value, the value that we give here on a day-to-day basis here, let's smash up the like button. We're going to be here on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday to answer your questions, to help you out, to trade if you see nice setups. Yesterday, we broke down very, very nicely as well. Yesterday was actually so freaking good. I'm still looking at this range right here and how we broke below it right there, right? And just turned that range into resistance and sold off, man. It was so freaking good right there. What about Forex? You have any plans for today? This is what we talked about. The EURUSD was actually one of those setups I was looking for in case the dollar would continue to push up. But it's already breaking higher right now. So if the dollar decides to pull back, I think gold is going to try to break higher as well here. So we'll see. We'll see. Right now, it seems that gold is struggling. Definitely still struggling. Yeah. Yeah, overall pretty messy session. I mean, this was the Asian session right here, right? Asian session, we had a major drop. Then London session came. This was the Asian session as well here, sorry. Then the London session came. We reversed. But we never really took out the lows here, or the daily lows yet. So we are now kind of holding that support, and that has all to do with the higher time frame pretty much, right? Daily demand and then 4 hour demand right here. All right, it's that combination. Daily demand and 4 hour demand. Your daily trend and 4 hour demand pretty much. So you are in these two major zones right now. Yeah, let me know in the chat if the stream is good, by the way. I've been tweaking a couple of things here. Protecting myself from the matrix, you know what I mean? So let's see if today will be good. And if not, it's getting worked on. It's getting worked on. Yeah, we're still remotely on an island here, far, far from human civilization, right? We're streaming far from the Western civilization. Just so you know. Just so you know. All right, that's good. That's good. That's very nice to hear. Important. How long have you been living on an island, man? Long time, man. Long time. 5 freaking years already. 5 years. Actually, more than 5 years right now. Yeah. I came here in March 2020. Guess what happened in March 2020? You guys already know. That was the time I left. And I decided to relocate. Yeah. 2020, March. It's 5 years, 5.5 years ago. Actually quite wild. Actually quite crazy here. Lorenzo, I've been trading for a long time. I've been winning, I've been losing, but I am not able to stay consistent. What do you think I should do? Well, the number one thing that I think is important for people here is focus. Focus. I think this is one of the most underrated, pretty much the most underrated things you could look at, right? And think about focus. A lot of people miss out on focus. I also missed out on focus. Like, what do I mean with that? When I'm very focused, I win. I make money. I avoid the right trades. I take the right trades. I tend to be more sharper when it comes down to managing my position, right? And then there are periods where I'm less focused. Periods where I'm more, thinking about other things, or not fully there, or emotionally invested too much into the market, or trying to trade the market when there are no clear setups, right? Leaving me with losing focus. And I think the word focus is something that many people neglect, right? People are obsessed with strategies. Maybe you are obsessed with finding the right strategy, like your psychology, great. But focus is something that I think is heavily underrated. Okay? Definitely something to work on. The market is freaking unforgiving, you know. It is unforgiving because you can do everything right for a really long time. And you can make one mistake and it screws up all the freaking work you put in. It's very unthankful. It's very unthankful. But you have to deal with that. Bro, can you check the New Zealand dollar against the yen? Do you think it has potential to come down? We can look at it, all right? Let me show you how I look at the cross pairs and how you can take advantage of this. We look at the baskets first. So the yen basket, for example. And the yen basket right now is struggling. It is struggling. We had some potential, but it's having a hard time. It's having a hard time. So the yen basket is struggling. New Zealand dollar is recovering, actually. The New Zealand dollar is trying to do better. This might have to do something with that deal that the United States made with Australia in regards to the commodity mineral deal or something of that. Might have some impact on the New Zealand dollar as well here. So it's actually recovering. It's actually recovering quite well. That's just my first impression. So that's just what I look at. Also structure on the baskets. And then we go to the actual chart itself. I mean, we bounced from daily demand here multiple times. We reacted from that. That's the first thing I'm seeing. We're in a big range, so we're not really trending. First thing I would look at is this level right here, 12-hour demand zone right there. Okay. Before I would look at the lower time frame, I would look at anything. I would say keep a very close eye on this 12-hour zone. Why? Because if you look at the daily, and you look at the daily time frame, we bounced from daily demand. We respected it multiple times. It just didn't respect it once. It respected it actually 2 times right here, right? And if you then go to the 12-hour, we talk about this all the time in our group. Going to the 12-hour time frame as well. Don't neglect the 12-hour. Then you can see here that we broke out of this high right here. We broke structure to the upside already, right? So daily demand, and then we broke to the upside here. We created that expansion here. This was that last candle before that major impulse to the upside. So by default, this is a really nice, what we call higher time frame point of interest. Right there, right? Higher time frame point of interest right there at 12-hour. It's sitting at 87 or 86.759. All right, so that's the first thing I look at. Okay, what happens if price pulls back? are going to take a trade right there from the higher time frame. Not necessarily. Okay. What I would look for is any range that gets created beforehand, or anything in that matter that can give us an indication, which could be a range like this, right? We could create something like that. Price could come down. It could break down. It pulls back into the demand. It shows that it holds here. It breaks higher, and we look for the continuation to the upside here. We call that a see me pattern, right? So a consolidation, a manipulation. The manipulation is in higher time frame support, and then boom, you break out, and then the retest of that range is your entry. So this is where you can utilize the fixed range warrant profile right here. You mark it out. Price breaks above your level. You could look for a setup, roughly speaking, around this structure right there. And then I would feel very comfortable with looking for long. Stop loss below. And I would target, let me see, our next zone, which is much higher. So you have a lot more room for price to push up higher right there. And look for the continuation here. So that is, to me, the ultimate confirmation from a daily time frame, 12-hour time frame, break of structure, range, pull back into demand, breakout, and then a continuation play. If you are a swing trader, daily demand is in essence fine too, right? But you just have to be more patient. But that will be the ultimate confirmation, in my opinion, right there, right? Hope that makes sense. Everything is in the book. I explain everything that's in there. It's written in the ebook as well here. Setups like these, and how you can use higher time frame supply and demand with lower time frame volume to get the best possible entries you could wish for. The highest confirmations, and actually gain a real edge in the market right there. Okay, that is the New Zealand dollar against the Japanese yen. I hope that helped right there. Let me know if this is something that might be interesting to you. What could be your target? Like I said before, it could be this daily supply zone right there. Micro execution, macro targets. Boom. Very nice. Where can I buy the book? The book is completely free, my friend. You can download it right here in the chat or in the description. It's the first link right there. It's literally right there. Download the free, or download the LTA Trading War Map for free. All right? Download the Trading War Map for free. Right there. Lorenzo, how's boxing been going? Boxing is going well. I have been taking a break because I got an injury. Okay. So I've decided, while I'm taking a little break from boxing, to go to the gym a lot more right now. So I'm much more focused on the gym right here. Really trying to build out a good physique right now at the moment here. I think this is my #1 priority at the moment. And I'm trying to try some stuff out there. I'm experimenting a little bit. Getting my testosterone to my max, see what I can do here. And there are a lot of things that I'm actually trying to do right now, such as sleep. That's one layer I definitely need to improve on massively. My sleep, especially with trading, man, you can be stuck on your phone forever. So sleep was one layer that I wanted to work on. Getting my testosterone. I'm going to the gym right now, a lot more heavy lifting, but also taking supplements to massively boost my natural testosterone levels. Okay. Yeah, stacking these test levels right now. Okay, that means not jerking off anymore. No jerking off allowed. No, I'm joking. It's you should do that. You shouldn't do that anyways. Well, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna try a regime here. I actually can show you what I'm looking at, by the way. That is the following. First thing I recommend you, if you want to boost your natural testosterone, if you're interested in taking supplements, by the way, only if you're interested in, what are the benefits of having a higher testosterone? Well, you're more focused. We just talked about focus, okay? That's one layer. You're more focused. You're more sharp. You feel better. You feel less lazy when you get out of bed. You're more hungry to make things happen in the fucking world. You're trying to actually do something, achieve something. These things have a major impact, right? A lot of guys that have low testosterone levels that cannot get themselves to work. These guys are depressed. They don't know really why they're depressed, right? They're getting lazy. They don't want to execute anything. They don't really care, right? Check out your T levels. Like do a blood test or something because it's super freaking important, okay? But there are a couple of supplements you can take. Number one is Tonkat Ali. Right here, it's called Tonkat Ali. Check it out. Whoop. Tonkat Ali right here. 400 milligrams a day. That's 1 tablet a day. It has been proven there is something in it that actually does boost your T levels. Then you have something that's called magnesium. Whoop. Sorry for that. Magnesium glycinate. All right. This is super important. Also for your recovery as well. Your muscle recovery, your heart function, your liver function, as well as your overall metabolism tends to help us much more. Also naturally boost your T levels right there. Then we have something that's called vitamin D3 and K2. If you live in an area where you don't get enough sun exposure, okay? You don't get enough sunlight, really take this shit right here because this is gonna really help you feel better, okay? I live in fucking Bali. I go to the beach every day, but I still take it anyways because my body naturally, and this is from way back when I was younger, when I was born, naturally produces less vitamin D, okay? Which is extremely important for your overall health in general here. Then we have L-theanine, okay? L-theanine right there. This is something that you can use before you go to bed, and it really helps you set yourself into a resting state, okay? So it helps you with your recovery as well. When you're sleeping, it just gets you into that deeper sleep, right? It's proven to help you with your deeper sleep as well. Of course, you need to stop looking at your phone all night long if you really want to get the max out of that as well here. And then you have something that's called boron. We're going to go deep. We're going to go deep here, okay? This is called boron, and this helps you with your metabolism. It speeds up your metabolism in your body, which makes it easier for you to absorb, your nutrients and all that stuff, as well as feeling more fit. So when you combine these things, I think you're gonna reach some higher T levels if you work out and you have a good diet and you try to really focus on your sleep. Let's see what happens with your lifestyle, like for real. Let's see what happens with your lifestyle. I can guarantee you, I feel probably 10 times better than I felt a year ago when I was streaming, when I was boxing every single day. And that's just because I decided to focus more on my sleep, and not necessarily the amount of time, but more the quality, right? The quality of my sleep, especially here. And of course, also the supplements, good diet, and as much sunlight, as sun exposure as possible. Yeah. Manifested says, for me, girls work perfect for metabolism. Yeah. Well, that can work too, right? Do some cardio on the side. But lifting weights tends to be more effective. Just saying. Having a good diet, lifting weights. Getting these steps in though is still great, yeah. Getting these steps in is still great. Are you guys doing any sport right now? Anything in particular that you guys are doing? Yeah. Lorenzo, does training help with your trading? 100% it does. It's truly everything. And to be really honest with you, I never believed it because I was like, yeah, right. I was always stubborn. I was always thinking, yeah, right, okay. Training is important. I get it. It's important, but yeah. But if you never work out, and you're laying in your bed all day long, or you're just at home and you're not doing anything, right? And you're trading, you're gonna feel tired. You're not feeling optimal. You're not feeling focused. You have that crazy fog in your brain. Do you think that you can make really proper decisions when you're extremely foggy? I think it's gonna be very hard. I think it's gonna be very hard. You need that balance. You need that balance, right? User says cricket. Yeah, that's massive in India, right? Cricket. One of my best friends from back in the days in the Netherlands also was a major cricket player as well. Which is actually really, it's a really small sport in my country. Lorenzo, can you tell us something about your losses? What was your biggest loss and how were your losses at the beginning of your trading journey? One of my biggest losses, I think I said this already many times. I think it was like $70,000 in one trade. Yeah, it was one of the worst experiences of my life. It truly was. Because I actually needed that. I needed that money. It was actually really, really bad. Yeah. I was in drawdown for around, and it was really nasty. It was a really bad time of my life actually, because I was $70,000, almost $70,000 in drawdown. I was liquidated at 70,000, but like, let's say I was getting there, right? I couldn't close the trade mentally anymore. It surpassed me already. Like, I lost so much money that I couldn't even close it mentally. I couldn't accept defeat, right? I had so much pain around that trade that I couldn't even accept that I actually would lose. And I would turn into that stage of hopium. You know what I mean? I hope for the best. I hope for a miracle. Well, guess what? If you make a mistake in trading, no one is going to save your little ass. Right? It's not going to work out. It's just not gonna be like that, okay? Hopium in trading is not gonna work out. So I should have closed the trade, take a big hit, accept it, and keep $20,000, for example. I could still keep $20,000 from my $70,000. I decided to hold it all the way to zero. Is that retarded? Yes, it was. It was retarded. It was a really, really stupid mistake. And at the same time, my girlfriend was my girlfriend at the time just gave birth. Yeah, just gave birth. It was like 5 years ago. And that $70,000 was important because I wanted to have that money for a couple things. I just wanted to use that money for the year, for my rent, for things like that. You know, I was looking for all kinds of things so I could stack my money. No, I lost that money and now I had to, you know, use my savings and stuff. It was just terrible, man. Yeah. So how did it happen? Dollar cost averaging. DCA. Dollar cost averaging, baby. Yeah, buying the dip. Oh, it's coming down. Oh, I'm going to buy a bit more. Oh, it's coming down again. I'm going to buy a bit more. Well, guess what? It can actually come down more. And it can actually come down more. And more. So what did I do? At some point, I was $50,000 in drawdown. And I decided I can't take this anymore. I need to hedge myself now. I don't want to lose my money. So I opened a short. I opened a short against my long. My short came down and my short ended up in profit, right? Because my short was winning and my long was losing. So I was not getting liquidated because I kept my margin up. Kind of how it works when you take a long and a short, right? I was hedging. So I kept my margin up. However, how do you work your way out of a situation like that? You pretty much cannot really, right? So you need to hope for the best. You need to wait for price to reverse. And then you need to kind of close your short position, maybe in a small loss, and hope the price continues to go higher and that you found the bottom. That's kind of the idea of hedging. But I was stuck in that position for 4 months. 4 to 6 months. I don't remember it exactly. But it means one thing. I was looking at my phone every day in the morning for a couple months, thinking I was liquidated. Yeah. You know when you're walking on the street and you forgot your wallet or something, or your phone is out of your pocket and you're like feeling it, but you have it in your hand, that feeling I had every freaking morning. Hey, we're all going through things, right, guys? That's just the reality. We're going through really bad losses, and sometimes these things either kill you forever, or you use it as inspiration and you say, it's never going to happen to me ever again. And that's the decision I made. I told myself, I'm going to get better and I'm going to make sure it's never going to happen again. And it never happened again. That's it. Yeah. Listen, it can always get worse, right? It can always get worse. There's always someone that loses more money. I heard a guy that lost millions of dollars. I heard a guy that actually sent by accident his whole Bitcoin wallet of $5 million to the wrong address. It's like, it can always get worse, my friend. It can always get worse. Yeah. What did you learn? That DCAing with leverage is the worst thing that you can do in general. You saw what happened in the Bitcoin market, by the way, right? In crypto. Everyone who was on leverage 2 weeks ago got wrecked, got destroyed. Trading with leverage is really risky if you don't put a stop loss. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know what's happening, but for some reason the universe always gives you shit at the worst timing possible. Have you noticed it? When one thing goes wrong, everything goes wrong, and it's kind of like a negative spiral that you get into. And it's really hard to get out of that. Right? So one thing goes wrong, another thing goes wrong, and then it always comes together. Or sometimes, you know, you get a fine from the government, and then suddenly a week later, you need to start paying taxes out of something that you never expected you should pay taxes of. Or something happens with your leg. I don't know. It always comes together, right? But what has a negative always has a positive as well. So you need to be more grateful for the positives, and you need to accept and deal with the negatives, all right? A lot of people are very grateful. They start suddenly praying and looking up, right? They start praying when things don't go that well for themselves, right? And when things are not going well, please help me. Please help me. And when things are great, you're chilling. You don't care. It's time to switch that around, right? That's kind of the mentality that I've learned over time, that it's very important to be grateful when things are going right, and not when things are, and not being ungrateful when things go wrong. I think it's the best way to do it this way. And you will see what happens, my friend. Being grateful is a real thing. Being grateful, being positive is a real thing. What's the status of gold right now? We talked about it, especially at the beginning. Okay, so we're gonna be patient. I'm gonna be patient today. You see it right now. We're in daily demand. We talked about this here. very clear area of demand right here. We are holding up in the demand zone. So this is where a lot of buyers are going to potentially step in. We already know this. So then we have the 4 hour. Look at that 4 hour trend as well. Right around here, right? Look how clean that 4 hour trend is. Right here. You can see it right here. Super clean. 4 hour trend. I don't think this 4 hour... Okay, it has a bottom wick. But we pushed up here. And we're kind of holding that support now. So higher time frame demand and then 4 hour trend. Right? So now, to me personally, it's all about an internal confirmation. That's it. Now, what did we do? We created a range pretty much, right? We created an Asian range and then a London session range right around here. So we open the sessions. You can see Asia, you can see London right here. London lows are taken out, Asia lows are taken out. If price breaks above the point of control, I think it's safer to look for buys from there. And I think it's safer to look for buys from that level right there if you can manage to break out here. So that means that we have kind of that higher time frame support confirmation and then an internal break towards the upside right there. And then I was personally targeting, again, yesterday's range, right, where we looked for a trade for when we broke below this range, right? This range is, to me, still of relevance. So if price pulls back, that is the level I would target. And then from there onwards, the question is, are we going to follow through or are we just going to continue to drive lower and create a lower high? Yeah, so that's kind of topic. That's something that I'm waiting for. I'm willing to wait for it as well here to give myself the highest probability of succeeding. Yeah, yesterday was very clean. Thursday, the last stream of the last week where we took a long was very clean. Today, I think it needs time. I think price needs to break higher. And if price rejects here, aggressive guys will, or maybe can go short around the 4087. But keep in mind, you don't have that much runway because you're bouncing from daily demand and 4 hours, a 4 hour trend. Alex says, I'm sure we're going to go down. People are sure until it doesn't happen. Right? The price reverses. It's what it is. It could come down. It could also continue to break out here. Right? The conclusion is we're at higher time frame demand, higher time frame support, and we're reacting from it. That's the conclusion right now. The thing is, I'm never really 100% sure. This is a really great saying by Larry Williams, which I never forgot. The moment he said this, I never really forgot that moment because he said that no matter how good your strategy is and no matter the edge of your strategy, the last trade you take is always going to be 50-50. Right? It's always going to be 50-50, no matter the situation here. So I'm always going into the market with the expectation that there is a scenario that I can lose the trade as well here, right? So the only thing that I'm trying to do is to just say, okay, what are the scenarios, right? I'm not going to say, I'm 100% sure we're going to go up, then we're going to come down, and then we're going to continue to go higher, and then we're going to go to 429, and then we're going to sell off, and we're going to go to 2800. The way I like to look at it from this angle is, okay, what is the current status? We are in higher time frame support. Okay, cool. Is shorting smart? Is it smart to short in higher time frame demand? We're clearly reacting from it. We're clearly in that overall trend. Is it smart to short into that zone? And is it smart to then hope that we break through it? And taking that as my example here. What do you guys think? I mean, for me personally, when we reach the zone, which we're not always reaching, we're not always at these major zones we are now, right? If price gets there and price breaks down, great. That's great. Then we have a confirmation that we most likely will continue to come down lower, right? Because we break below that major area of demand right there. Okay? That demand zone is sitting right now. It's clearly reacting from it. It's already proven to react from it. So it's not that it's just tanking. Like we're reacting from it, we're holding above it. So trying to short into that or in that is, in my opinion, highly risky. So I can only say, now that we are in daily demand or higher time for support, if we do break back above the internal structure, I will be comfortable because we're bouncing from a higher time frame zone. It gives me an internal confirmation, and I would then give it the edge, the higher probability that we most likely will push up here. If we take out this demand, right, and we pull back, yeah, I might look for a retracement and I might look for a continuation. So two scenarios. We're now at this scenario. Unless we break down and we just actually do something like this right here. But for now, we're holding at the daily support. So that's the way I like to see it. And the way I like to look at it right here. The trend line is not correct. Okay. This is why trend lines are always going to be subjective. It's true. Because someone is going to think that this is the trend line. And other people are going to say, no, this is the trend line. So this is why the trend lines are always additional. And they're not primary. Lorenzo, could you please explain to me what your way is to find ranges? Look at that, right? That's a clear range. Look at this, for example. What kind of ranging here? It's really subjective, bro. It's actually quite subjective. You learn to deal with this over time, and you will get better at it. You will get better at it. Right here. This is one, this is one, this is one, right? So what I recommend you to do is to use this tool, the rectangle, and mark it and draw it over your charts and go from there. So use the rectangle and start marking them out, right? And start testing them out and see how price responds, right? When price pulls back into it. That's it. So in LTA, we can't use pending orders. You can. If you are swing trading, you can. I sometimes do use limit orders as well when I'm very confident and there's high volume. I talk about it in the book as well. Yes, sir. All right, guys, we have around 800 people watching. We're waiting to see if gold can break and hold that daily demand zone. If you appreciate the value that we give you, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. We have around 30% of you guys that are watching but are not subscribed to the channel. But you are watching on a day-to-day basis. So therefore, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. You can also download the free ebook that we created for you, which is this book right here. A physical copy is going to be available soon, by the way, but that's going to cost you money. So you can get the free ebook in the description. Regardless, some people just want to have the, you know what I mean? Some people want to have the physical copy. I get why. It's kind of cool to read through it this way. Some people just printed it out themselves, by the way, as well. Anke says, Lorenzo, I have 3 Google accounts. I logged in and liked your stream. Just to thank you, Jesse, for your work. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Adarsh K, thank you for the sub, my friend. I feel like a Twitch streamer. This feels like a Twitch stream, right? I feel like I'm on Kick or something on Twitch. Are you sharing your own analysis on Telegram? Of course, every day I make a video, an update video about what I am looking for. Also just sharing my personal journey, right? Constantly sharing updates and videos in there. So yes, that's in our Telegram right there. Omar, thank you for the sub, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Damon Smet, by the way, welcome to the group, my friend. It's good to have you in our group. Been waiting for you for a while. I think we have been talking on YouTube already for a while as well here, so it's good to have you finally in our group here. Good to have you there, man. Which time frame is the best for the internal confirmation? I usually use the 5-minute, the 15-minute, or the 30-minute for my entries. It depends on the size of the range. How much does your setup cost? You're looking higher sometimes. It means you have more than 2 monitors. I have actually 3 monitors right here, yeah. 3 big monitors right now. One Samsung Odyssey G9, and then a couple other ones. And a TV. Not sure if you can see it actually, but anyways. Right. Right here, you see that? Right there. Oh. Yeah. More screens does not necessarily mean more money, by the way, okay? Just so you know. More screens does not mean more money, okay? It looks cool. It is cool. It is convenient. But if you're streaming, for sure, you need to have multiple screens because without that, it's impossible to trade. Possible to trade. Exactly. Okay, check EU. Yes, let's check it out here because we have been looking at a potential scenario. Okay, good. That's good. If the euro pulls back into this range and we get rejected here and the dollar pulls back, this means the dollar is pulling back too. Then it might get very interesting for us still to look at the EURUSD as well here. As an alternative to gold. If gold does not... whatever, breakout or whatever the case may be here. So then we have the dollar. Dollar is still, as you guys can see probably already, dollar is still all right, it's coming back to the range. This is why the euro is pushing back up here. So gonna pay a lot of attention to this level and see what we can do if we can continue to short it right there. How frequently do you use the book map? Not as often. Only when the market is kind of in a range, you know. Kind of in a range. Hi, bro. Is there any gold trade? Well, I can guarantee you a lot of guys are right now trying to short gold here. That's what I think. That's the feeling I'm getting here. They kind of forget that we're in higher time frame support at this current moment. So, yeah, unless you're trading on, let's say, the 1 minute time frame, you know, there are a chance that you get rejected, you pull back, but you're in between two ranges here, even on the 1 minute. I'm just going through it. You're in between here. You're in between here. We could hold this range right now and pull up, for example, right? It could be. But you can easily get rejected as well here. So that's why we're waiting. We're in a no trading zone right now. Yeah. We're in a no trading zone today. Higher time frame support. How come you decided to move to Bali? Is it for financial purposes or you just love it there? First of all, you know that we had the lockdowns, right? In March 22. March 2020, we had these lockdowns. I could make a decision. I was in Barcelona at the time. So I live in Amsterdam. I'm Dutch. I come from the Netherlands. I have an Italian father, a Dutch mother. Lived in the Netherlands. Born in the Netherlands, pretty much. Grew up there. But I was actually in Barcelona already for, you know, work. I had some things there. I was living in Barcelona, Spain. And then, you know, we had the lockdowns and stuff, right? And then, you know, I could make a decision. Do I stay in Europe? Do I go back to the Netherlands? Or do I go to Bali? And I decided last minute to go to Bali. And I bought a ticket the day before the island closed down. So I arrived at the last day on the last flight on that island. This is really crazy. And I ended up in Bali and, you know, set out the whole situation here on the island. Was still able to go outside, was still able to surf, was still able to just do everything I wanted to do without any issues or something like that, right? So it was the best decision I've made so far. And yeah, my son was born 2 years later. So you get the point. You get the point, right? So it didn't have to do anything with finances or whatever the case may be. By the way, Bali now is freaking expensive. I do not recommend you to go here on a budget. It just it seems impossible to me. Yeah, so I came there, and then two years later, my son was born. You know, that was a good experience. And now my son is, you know, growing up on the island. And now Bali is in like crazy development right now. So schools are getting built, international schools are getting built, really high level schools, private education, really good. So, you know, Bali is glowing up. The only thing that's annoying is the traffic. And the infrastructure. The infrastructure is really bad because everywhere you look, new villas are getting built. But in order to build these villas, you need to have everything in order, right? You need to have all the stuff. You need to have all these trucks that deliver all the things, all the goods. Yeah, it's not gonna work on a small island. So yeah, everything comes with a price. That's the conclusion. All right, gold is pushing. Dollar is coming down. This is a do or die moment. You see the negative correlation between the dollar and between gold right now? It is a very important moment right now because we have the New York Stock Exchange open. Volume is coming in now. It's a do or die moment, in my opinion, for the dollar. Because if the dollar reverses today, gold will most likely reverse too. So if the dollar breaks below that range, gold will most likely break above this range. Aimcrafter says, I like Bali, but too many Russians. I mean, what's wrong with Russians? What's wrong with Russians? They're nice people. They're nice, they're friendly. I mean, the Russians I meet were nice. They're nice people. All right, it is pushing. I like that. I'm happy with that. I'm happy that gold start pushing now from the demand zone. Demand. It's still very tricky. Look at where gold is trading into, right? This is what we're talking about, right? This range right here. It's so important that you break above the point of control. It is just the truth. Viral Junction, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Silver seems stronger than gold. If silver is holding up, then that's a good sign. If the dollar is dropping, Russians are nice when they're sober. Woo! They can be really funny. And they're very intelligent, by the way. I love the guys that I've seen are very intelligent. Funny enough, most of them. I don't know. It depends what kind of circle you're in, right? It all depends. It all depends. There are stupid people everywhere. I've been following your trading journey. I really appreciate your market insights. Could you please share a detailed plan for your upcoming trade, including what pairs or assets you're watching? Yes, that's why I'm here. So dollar has two scenarios right now. If the dollar holds in this range and is still showing strength, I think there's a larger chance that the EURUSD will push up into this level at 116 and just continue. And just simply will continue the downtrend right here. So, we're trending downwards. We're pulling back. If you get rejected there, then that might be just a reverse here. So that will be a bullish scenario for the dollar. All right? This means that gold will most likely have a hard time breaking here. If the dollar breaks down, okay, if the dollar actually decides to break down and we pull back below that range, we can use the volume profile. And we mark out the range, and then we get and look for the rejection below the point of control. Anything below there is to me a bearish confirmation from the dollar. Okay? So if that's the case, I'm going to look at bearish scenarios for the dollar. And it could be dollar pair. So let's look at, for example, the dollar yen. Right? Dollar yen might be bearish, for example. Look at that. What's the dollar yen doing right now? I marked this out beforehand. Dollar yen right now is in that range. So on the daily time frame, we are in that supply zone. You can see that right here. We're getting rejected from supply. And on the 30-minute, we're in a range. So we're in a larger range right now, right? So if the dollar breaks down, most likely what you're going to see is you're going to see the breakdown below this range. The pullback is the confirmation for a setup, right? This is where the volume profile comes into play. This is where we will look for our entries. This is in the ebook. We talk about this all the time. We call that a CERC pattern. And that is something I will be trading. So if price breaks down, I will be looking to short the dollar yen. And look for a setup like that, right? Especially if the dollar breaks down. That would be the ideal case scenario. A dollar Swiss, similar. If the dollar Swiss right now breaks down and it gets rejected, we are now still, I believe, in that supply. I will be doing something similar on the dollar Swiss as well. I will be looking at the dollar Swiss potentially as I set up. And yeah, that's kind of the thought process. So dollar Swiss, dollar yen. And if the dollar breaks down, gold will break out. And we'll look for the continuation trade to the upside. And that's kind of what we're waiting for right now, actually. Trying to see if gold can break out here. Yo, Rio, my friend.
Yo, what's up, Lorenzo?
Hey man, I see you're still looking at silver right now. What do you see there? What are you waiting for?
So I marked up this range here on the 30-minute, also at either 15-minute. So similar setup to gold. It maybe breaks up and then retest, and then hopefully continuation.
I must say it's actually looking like a really clean range, right? Almost cleaner than gold, actually.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to focus on. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime. Cheers.
You know, that's actually a good point he's making, right, Ryu? If you look at silver, for example, and you look at the range on silver, like he's saying, the range on silver is actually looking really, really clean right now. Like, look at that range on silver. We are still in 12-hour demand right here. We have a 30-minute range. It looks very clean, right, from this perspective. So gold looks good, but silver, from like a range perspective, looks very, very nice. And that could be a setup towards this 12-hour supply right there, right? Which is actually great if you get rejected there, because from that moment onwards, price might come down again. But internally, now that we're holding a 12-hour demand, creating a range, breaking out and pulling back, we might be actually able to take a long on silver as well. So I actually like to see something like that if you do break out of that range. I think it's really valid. This is why sometimes silver is just such a good thing to look at. If you are a gold trader, sometimes silver is just so good to look at by default. It really is something to pay attention to, because sometimes silver is just cleaner, you know? When do you utilize the range breakout retest? And when do you utilize the range manipulation distribution? We talk about this a lot, bro. And that is that you need to have a daily bias.
Man, Dow Jones really want to tap into that previous day value high.
So you need to have a daily bias beforehand, right? That's the main thing. So in order to get a really good bias, you need to understand the higher time frame. So this is where supply and demand is super important. If you understand supply and demand, then you can go to the lower time frame and you know exactly what you're looking for. For example, on silver right now, we are in a 12-hour demand zone right here, which is actually holding up really clean. We're respecting it very well. Multiple 12-hour candles are getting respected right here, right? So is this the time now to look for the manipulation, the CME, or is this the time when we look at the range right now to look for the CERC? What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know. CME or CERC? Consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation, CERC. Or CME, consolidation, manipulation, expansion. Manifesta CRC, Amatsa CRC, Sarai CRC with largest CME. Exactly. Exactly. So that's kind of what we're looking for, right? We're looking for the consolidation, expansion, retracement. We are in higher time frame support, higher time frame demand, 12-hour demand at the moment. We're building a range. If we break out, that is something that we're looking for, right? To see if we can look for a setup right there. And then look for the confirmation here, putting our stop loss somewhere there and target, for example, the highs, putting our stop loss right below, something like that, right? And then we have a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, and we can take it back towards this 12-hour supply. So higher time frame bias matters, man. Higher time frame bias matters. This is why gold is so interesting now, because gold is in the daily demand. Gold is in the daily demand. Buyers are getting absorbed. Yeah, we are now back at that range, smaller range. We're getting rejected here. We are in like what, resistance as well here. Of course, yeah, we're in resistance right now again, internal resistance. So that's why I don't feel comfortable with buying until we break the high, until we break above this red line. I think this thing is working, geez. I think the internet connection is working. I think our tweaks helped. Let's see. Let's see if something happens. Let's see if something happens. But for now, I think what? We're how long in? 1.5 hours in. I think we're doing good. We're doing good. Okay? I'm gonna knock it off though, because you know what happens. Don't get too excited yet. Damn. If my stream lags or there's something wrong, right? It really messes up the whole quality, right, of the stream as well. Super important this is stable. If something happens though, we're working on it. We're testing a couple things and hopefully we don't have this issue any longer. Just Jackson, I see here a lot of buyers are getting trapped in my footprints. What is the delta right now? What is the delta of this 5:15? Let me look. 50-minute candle. What is the delta of this 50-minute candle? Of the previous 50-minute candle. So what is the delta of the 9:30 candle? Let me know, bro. Lorenzo, if you could choose one thing, chess or poker, what would it be? That is a tough decision, bro. That is a really hard decision to make, to be honest with you. Damn. Chess or poker? I think I would go for chess, bro. To be really honest with you, I think I would go for chess. I think it's so hard. It's so hard to explain because like it's so different though, you know? It's hard to compare. I like from poker, I like that like human element around it, the psychology around it, setting traps, the uncertainty, bluffing, you know, all that stuff is so cool. But when it comes down to chess, that's true skill, right? That's something that you really build over time. I would say chess, just because I respect the chess game. I respect the chess game, but it's very close, man. It's very close. It's very close. The thing is, I could play you in chess and I could beat you, let's say 100 times in a row, right? That's because it's 100% skill based. There's no, I could beat you 100 times in a row. With poker, there is that luck factor involved. There is a little bit of luck factor. So over time, I could potentially win more than I lose, right? So over time, 55% of the time I'm profitable, let's say. I make more money. That's my edge. So it's completely different here. Actually, like I said yesterday, when you put these two things together, you put poker and chess together, what do you have? You have trading. That's trading, man. For me, it was meant to be. I was meant to be a trader. I was meant to be. The only thing I was doing in my free time was playing poker and playing chess. That's it. So, you know, poker, probability, psychology. Chess, strategy, skill set. Yeah. I don't think I would want to do anything else that I'm doing right now, to be honest. You know, besides living like a good free life, I wouldn't do anything else because I really truly like to I like to win and I hate losing. But I really like to do at least something, right? This is why I do boxing all the time. This is why I am trying to optimize right now, focus on my health. A lot of reasons why. I just want to win, man. I just want to win in life. I just want to freaking win. That's it. That's the only reason. And that's the reason why we're doing 400 live streams on YouTube. Because we just want to win, man. We just want to win. Do you want to win? Do you want to step up your game? Do you want to finally make a change? Are you not tired of yourself sometimes? Being stuck? You know you can change it, right? You have seen the potential you have. Why don't you take advantage of it? Why don't you take advantage of your potential? That's the question. You're getting older and older every year. It's like, God damn, another year of not getting the full potential out of my life. Not living optimal. Freaking Matrix, man, right? It's a freaking life. Life sucks you back in. I understand it. I feel it. I know it. It happens. It just happens. But only you can make a difference, bro. Only you can make a change. No one else. This guy deserves some likes. Come on, guys. We have around 800 people watching the live. Yes, appreciate that. If you appreciate the value we give, the free book that you can download, the LTA Concept Trading War Map. And you really like this stuff right here. It's a 300-page book that we wrote for you for free. Then smash up that like button here. I would highly appreciate that. LC, have you heard about red setups days or green setups? Not really, no. What is that? Red setups, green setups? Red setups, green setups. I mean, gold is holding up pretty well, right? Let's be honest here. It's holding up really well. Dollar is definitely slowing down a little bit, but nowhere near a reversal. Same for silver. We're keeping close eye on silver too now, because silver is looking really good. Because if silver breaks out, there is just such a bigger chance that silver will be the cleaner setup. We just need to see a bit more volume in my opinion right now. That's it. Lorenzo, can you check out the Euro Australian dollar? It is good. We can check it out for you if you want, while we're waiting for our breakout here. Even the euro is pulling back, by the way. I think it's important to pay attention to this. The euro is definitely pulling back here. Euro Australian dollar, we can look at it. What did we have marked out in the Euro Australian dollar? I mean, it's a tough range. Look at this daily range, man. Look at that daily range. We're getting rejected here. Price got rejected from that. An absolute mess. It's an absolute mess. We're in 8-hour demand here. Right now. This is definitely a zone you want to mark out. This is the area of demand right here. Because this is that last candle before that major push towards the upside here. This one is not the cleanest. I would still mark this out as well. You have a couple zones here to work with. I would look at these zones and see how price respects it, because we've seen that push. And now it's all about the internal, but there's a lot of selling pressure as well here. The reason why is because you got rejected from the 8-hour supply here, right? When price pulled back into that 8-hour supply, you got rejected. So let's see what happened there. Yeah, you pretty much had a range. You broke down, you pulled back, and you sold off, and you tapped into the point of control here, right? That was kind of the last range that was created. You tapped into the point of control, or the very area low. Actually, it was the very low, and higher time frame supply. Price sold off, pulled back, sold off. It's still bearish, bro. It's still bearish. Yeah, look at this range right here. Look at that rejection of this range. Again, rejected, fixed very low. It's still bearish. So you're in 8-hour demand, but you are definitely looking bearish here. So if this gets taken out, I am definitely thinking about continuations towards the next zone. And then you can kind of use this range. This range to work with. Something like that. So I'm definitely more into shorting than longing right now, even though you're at support. If you take out the lows, I think a pullback makes sense here. Something like that. Ruan Cook says just joined. Up or down? Down. Like, I think it has to be like this, right? It has to be like that. It has to be like this. I don't know, man. Probably has to be something like this right here. It's like, come on, G. Open your freaking eyes, brother. Good to see you, though. Welcome back. Harper Talk, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Look at GJ. Very nice CERC setup. You guys are killing it with setups today. Let's see what you guys are seeing. Yeah. Is this a breakdown? Higher time frame first. Always higher time frame first. Never rush into your lower time frame confirmations. Higher time frame confirmation, okay? Super important. What is the weekly telling us? Weekly is okay. Okay. Broke down, held, daily. Daily's getting bought up, all right? Daily's getting bought up. It's actually in that range. This is very interesting, bro. Yeah, I would look at it. I would definitely look at it. I would definitely wait for price to see how price responds here for sure. Rowdy says gold is down and Bitcoin is up. Yes. We talked about this also. If you look at Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin actually came up slightly. Nothing too crazy, to be honest. Nothing too crazy, right? But at least Bitcoin is holding that support right now. But look, it still looks pretty nasty. It's holding well, but it looks pretty nasty.
Our supply is officially taken out. I can mark that out. That's kind of an important thing. Yeah, let's mark it out like this. And then we'll see how we react here now.
Vanessa, how are you doing?
Hey, Lorenzo. All good.
Yeah,
acting with patience today.
You took an oil trade?
Yeah, actually, I'm not in it. It was a setup I had in mind, but because it's all internal play still, and we don't have COT data to base us against. So what we had seen is that for oil on the higher time frame, we actually reacting from a weekly demand. So I had that in mind, but we've been coming up down quite strong. So that then take longs with conviction. Yeah, we need some kind of confirmations, and we actually are trading within this range here to the left, being an 8-hour supply. And at this particular moment, it was one not yet taken out, And then we start to look at candle closures. And yeah, we didn't have a 1 hour candle closure above the previous week value area high at the moment I could have entered. So it's really tight and I wasn't really convinced. So either it's now seeming to go in my favor, it's still, yeah, I didn't take it and I don't feel bad about it because I know my reasons why.
Right.
And so now for the continuation, yeah, it's going to be very important because we still have a macro downtrend in play on oil. And we have still a range on the left that we could react from. So now the VIX value area low is the next thing we need to see what kind of reaction we get from that. And so either we break above and then we can see a retracement and break the downtrend channel, or another scenario that we could look at, if we react from this quite strongly and we break back below this range from this morning, retest it, we could take it back to the range that we had from the early week, start of the week here, and then see if we can take it up again, knowing that we were in that weekly demand.
Okay, so you think
So
that
yeah,
oil is still holding up
that's
pretty
the
well,
whole
yeah?
reason.
Overall. It's trying to hold up pretty well.
Yeah. I'm kind of, without COT data, it's hard to say. But yeah, it seems like a rollover that we see quite often in oil. But still, yeah, trading with caution and with strict risk management because it's still internals. And yeah, looking at it step by step if our risk management 2 to 1 hour is still in play or not, and then decide from there.
Okay, amazing. Thank you, Vanessa. Appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome.
Vanessa in the building. She's always trading in the trading floor, always there active, helping others out here. This is one of our OG women right now in our group. Very interesting. It's really nice. It's really awesome. Oh, gold pulling back down. Again, a little bit. Is still holding up in a demand zone here. We can clearly see, you guys, right? That this is just a... How do you say that? This is just a no trading zone right now, right? Because you're in between that zone. You're in between higher time frame support, and then internally you're getting rejected already. So yeah, unless you trade like the 1 minute internally, it gets very tricky. It's very tricky from like a risk management standpoint, right? That's the reason why. So it seems like we are now in just a no trading zone right around here still, and we're not trying to break higher and not lower here. Just Jack said, I went short good negative delta. Good negative delta is actually not always good, by the way. You know that, right? Because if the negative delta is really strong, I would have loved to see a stronger push towards the downside as well. Wednesdays usually feels like a no trade day. Usually, yeah. Well, I mean, we have been trading the Wednesdays for the past weeks. We have been trading the Wednesdays. But yeah, it's a day where markets are kind of rebalancing, right? You can see this happening on gold a lot, that's for sure. That's for sure. And this is the reason why we're also looking at silver. This is the reason why we're also looking at things like the currencies here. But it's just in general, you can kind of see what has been happening here. Euro is trying to break back. So that might be interesting to still look at as well. Yana says Mondays for me are no trading days. I don't know, man. We're all different, bro. For me, the Mondays are good. I like trading on Mondays. Of course, I like to kind of observe what the Monday will bring, right? I like to observe at least the London session to see how we open up and blah, blah, blah. But I'm definitely trying to trade the Mondays, to be honest. I do. I like trading Mondays. I also like trading Fridays. Wednesdays are usually the days where I perform slightly less. That's true. It's true. According to my data, the Wednesdays are usually the days that are slightly worse for me. But it's not that I cannot trade on Wednesdays or I have to stop trading on Wednesdays, for example, right? Yeah. Do you have some advice how to properly manage our funded account? Like, when exactly should you take your payouts? Yeah, this is a great question because this is something that I talked about before. Do you guys remember it? I mean, if you ever had a payout, press a 1 in the chat. If you ever had a payout, press a 1 in the chat. Okay, let me see if you had a payout before. This is super important. Denise 1, Fire Jones 1, Diary 1, Jason LTA 1, Ian 1, Brian 1, Kareem. You're not 1, bro. You had like 10, 20. I don't know, a lot of a lot of payouts. All right. And my next question is the following question. I'm going to ask another question. My next question is the following question. After you got your first payout, what happened to your trading after that? Or how did you feel in general after your first payout? It went worse, really? Lost the funded account after the first payout, okay? I got more payouts after I felt amazing. Started to overtrade, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, the only thing that I can say that if you are funded, the only thing that I can say is that the moment you become funded and you actually get a payout, it's not necessarily about the amount of money. We all know that. It's not about the amount of money, right? The amount of money is kind of irrelevant. It's about you allowing yourself to get to a point where you can get a payout. That means you get your money back, you get more than you paid for. That proves to yourself that it's possible, right? It's just, you need to prove to yourself that you can do it. That's your first objective. Your first goal is to prove to yourself that you can trade and that you can actually get to a payout here. Forget about the guys on YouTube, on Instagram, making $50,000 in a week, right? Or $50,000 in a month. Forget about that shit, bro. That should not demotivate you. It should motivate you, but it should not be your priority. Your priority should be focusing on the smaller payouts right now. Get that proof, get that conviction, know that you can do it. Because the moment you have that done and you actually got it in the pocket, that's the moment for you to say, okay, if I can do this, you know, if I can do this, then I can do this, and I can do that. So you need to show yourself first and prove to yourself that you can do it here. So I would take the payout as soon as possible. Like the moment you can allow yourself to take a payout, you worked so hard to get to that point, and take the payout, bro. Doesn't matter how much it is. The fact that you get money on your account, it gets deposited on your account, it's your money now, is awesome, right? You beat the prop firm. That's the mentality, the mindset. After that, you're most likely going to fail a couple more times. You're going to lose the account, whatever the case may be. But from that moment onwards, something changed. Something in you switched. Because you do remember how you got funded. And you do remember how you got and worked yourself to that payout. So you understand the process, the pattern you need to follow. So small steps, consistent payouts, right, lead to bigger goals, bigger dreams. That's all I can say. Money will follow, bro. The money will follow. The moment you get to a certain point where you feel that you are consistent and you're really in control, that's the moment where you can say, I'm going to try to hit the jackpot, or I'm going to try to do this or try to do that. Yeah, super important. Silver holds really good. The trend line, yeah. I think silver is holding up good in general. It's holding up decent. I mean, it's okay, right? It's holding up okay. We're waiting for the breakout for the trade itself here. 12-hour supply is there. 12-hour supply is there. If price gets there, I don't think we're done yet, to be honest. If price gets there and it rejects, I might be looking to short it from there, but clearly we're sport right now. We're looking for longs if price breaks out. Similar to gold right now, by the way. If gold is willing to give us that push. I mean, the 1-hour time frame right now is actually not looking that bad, right? So people are trying to short this. But I'm like, what are you trying to short right now, right? Because you're in resistance here. This is daily demand. You're in support. You don't have that much room. So the ideal is the breakout and then a continuation. You have so much more room for it to go up after that break, after it taps into. If you didn't buy right at the demand zone, for example. I have made 10K to almost 31K in 1 month. Should I increase my risk now or continue with 0.01 lot? How have you been doing that though? You took 10K to 31K with 0.01 lot. How many trades do you take? How many trades do you take? 1,000? .01 lot. You took a 10K account to 31K in 1 month. But that's like, you know what I mean? For sure. Has to be like that. Lorenzo, I'm expecting 39.44 demand according to the 4-hour time frame. Can there be a possibility? The thing is, it's possible. It's possible the price comes down and it rolls over. That 4,000 level seems to be a really strong level. This is exactly where we bounced from right here. The 39, what did you say? 39.44. I mean, it could be. Like, look at the 4-hour candle. We're getting rejected here. We're having that selling pressure coming in. But again, once again, you are at daily demand right now. You are at higher time frame support, right? So yeah, it could get there. It could break it. It could take out daily demand. Sure. +90 only says my sell is going smooth, target 40.30. That is right there, right? You can target at 40.27 if that's the case. Britta says I did say sell. Yeah, well, if you want to trade this range internally on the lower time frame and you trade on the 1 minute, or the, you know, then yes, sure. 100%. I'm not sure what your strategy exactly is, but we did got rejected from the fix very low, but it was not worth a setup for me. It was not worth the risk to reward. The risk to reward for me would be too low. It will probably be negative risk to reward. Euro is getting interesting though. The euro is getting really interesting. I really like the euro here because the dollar is coming back and the dollar is pulling back towards this range right now. So the dollar is pushing down. We're now dealing with this range on the dollar. If the dollar decides to hold here for whatever reason, dollar holds this range. Then what's going to happen is that potentially if the dollar holds here, the euro is in at resistance. And the dollar holds these levels here right now. It's going to get super interesting because if the dollar holds this level, that is the exact moment the euro will tap into the fixed very low. So that could be very nice as an alternative here. Yeah. People are saying sell gold, buy crypto, but it looks like it's a sell on gold, sell crypto. Yeah, right now it's selling everything. Sell gold, sell dollar, sell crypto, sell everything. How can I share my trade history to you? Please believe me and guide me. 10K to 31K INR. Oh, okay. Indian rupees. Now I get it, bro. Now I get it. Okay, you have to say that, dude. I was like, bro, You're taking $10,000 to $31,000 with a 0.01 lot size, but it's rupees. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, I get it. I get it. All right. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, that's good. You did a good job then. If you don't feel comfortable scaling your risk, then don't scale your risk. Right? If you can grow an account from 10K to 31K, whatever your currency is, hey, and with 0.01 minimum lot size, and it works for you, then do this for now until you're comfortable with increasing it. There we go. That's it. I had a period of my life or of my time where I was trading, and I increased my risk, and I had a massive losing streak. For some freaking reason, the moment I increased my risk, I had a massive losing streak. It could be coincidence. It could be not. I don't know. But that's my experience. I increased my risk and I had a massive losing streak. I was scaling it. I started to increase my risk and I ended up in a losing streak. Right as when I increased my risk. It didn't happen once. It happened multiple times. So if you're not comfortable with the money you're willing to lose mentally, you're not mentally ready to lose that money, then risk less. Please risk less. It's gonna mentally break you. You will see, the less you risk, the better you trade. It's just a given. You need to build so much confidence around low risk that you can then slightly scale it up, right? Don't try to get the maximum out of it. And this is why there are so many guys telling you constantly, like people are telling you all the time. It's not just one person telling you. I'm not telling you. There are so many traders that are successful giving you the same answer. And they're constantly telling you, stop caring about the money. Just stop caring about the money. And you will start making money, right? Stop caring about the money and you start making money. And that's just the reality. That's just the truth of everything. The moment I stopped caring, the moment I start making. The way I stopped caring was by reducing my risk significantly. The more you're obsessed with making money, the harder it's gonna be, right? The harder it's gonna be. And this is why so many guys have such a problem with getting funded, for example, or not getting funded, getting their payouts, because they're getting funded because they don't really care. And then they know it's a real account and real money comes into play. And every trade is about, oh, if I make this amount of money on this trade, then I will pay out this, and then I'll get this, and then I'll buy that, and I'm gonna give my mother this. And oh, this holiday to Japan looks really nice. Cost me $5,000. Okay, then I need to risk this to make that. And then they lose and they never get to that point. Why is that? Why is that? Ask yourself that question. Why is that happening? So my number one advice would be, if you have a funded account, risk less. Risk much less. Start slow. Build up the confidence. It's not the same. Trading a simulated challenge or a funded account. It's not the same thing. Not the same thing. All right, dollar is there. Our dollar is in that major zone, finally. Took some time, man. Wow, but the dollar is now there. That's good to see. Let's see if the dollar can react here. Clearly, the hourly is respecting this level. Make sure that you guys see it. The euro is now back at it. First level, first reaction. I can see the setup already. 5 minute on the 5-minute time frame. Any times that need to go now, see you tomorrow, my friend. What about gold? Yeah, gold is just pushing down a little bit. It's now back at demand again. Same thing right here. So I'm paying attention to what happens to the euro. If the euro can tap into that level here and actually breaks down, if that happens, then I think we have a pretty good trade, to be honest, for the euro, because this will definitely show that the dollar will be respected. And the euro's downtrend will potentially continue. So something like that is definitely what I'm looking at, yeah. A lot of patience today, G's. A lot of patience today. Gold is not the way for me. Today's session. Yesterday was great. Thursday was great. Today, during the New York session, we have pretty much seen the opening here. We have seen a quick push during 8. New York Open came, price came up. And now we're kind of, yeah. We're still getting rejected there, and we're kind of in the middle. Yeah. Euro tapped on spot. Yes, we're looking at it right now. We are looking at spot, by the way. We're looking at spot. So if the euro breaks down, then this is the ultimate manipulation, right? On the lower time frame. Price ranges, it breaks out, it breaks the range, it pulls back, and it sells off right here. This is what I call a fantastic setup. If that breaks down on the 5-minute time frame, I'm willing to take a short for sure. Because this will definitely give the dollar a boost. This will show that dollar is willing to support here and not give us a reversal, which is still possible, right? The dollar reversing here. It's definitely a possibility that the dollar indeed does reverse and actually breaks down here. If that happens, then euro will most likely come up. So this will be the best 5-minute time frame confirmation for me to say we're looking for a short setup right there. Yeah, this is a setup, by the way, that so many people in our group are taking. Pretty much all the time. Pretty much all the time. Yeah. Karim, one of our guys here, he had some really, really good payouts in our group. Really good payouts over the last couple of weeks. He's following the exact same process, where you have the range, you have the breakout, you have to retest, and you have the continuation here. So that's just a perfect example. Perfect example of how price reacts here, right? Super, super clean. Ryu, silver trade right there, right? He took the range, broke out, pulled back, confirmation. He had a really bullish bias, looked for the continuation here, right? Gold long, similar, before we broke down here. Range, breakout, retest, continuation here. It's the same pattern. It happens over and over and over and over and over and over again, all the time. All right, so even the new guys that come in here, CME, consolidation, manipulation, expansion, use this range, turn it into support. Right here, or the range, the consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation right there. These guys are absolutely killing it. Every day we have these guys taking trades like this in our Discord and our VIP, but also in our Telegram, where they just look for these exact same setups. Right there, silver short. This was yesterday, perfect example. Endless trades. Same exact setups here. So when you look at the euro, right, what do you see? It's the same concept, right? It's the range, it's a rejection, and then potentially the internal confirmation, right? That's kind of the setup that we're looking for. Let me know in the chat for all the guys that are trading LTA. For all the guys that are trading LTA right now, have you taken any of these setups we're talking about or that we showed you beforehand? So this specifically to the LTA guys right now. Have you guys been taking these CRC and these CME plays? And have you seen the accuracy of these trade setups if you have a clear bias for the day? And it's about getting a bias and then executing with that bias you have. The power, we call it the power of ranges, man. The power of freaking ranges. That's really true power lays. Whenever it's not ranging, whenever the market is not trending, I actually like it. It gives me the perfect momentum to build a new trade idea. Winners create winners. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. If you see someone winning, right, and you see someone winning in the group, and you ask them, hey man, how did you do that? And he explains it, and you try it yourself, and it works for you too. Maybe, you know, the first time was just a lucky shot, maybe. Right, but at least you know, like, wow, okay, we have something here, right? So you need to experiment. You need to try new things for sure. But once you try something, you need to commit to it too. You cannot just like take a trade one time, get into a winning streak, be extremely hyped, and then go into a losing streak 4 trades in a row. That's not even a losing streak. And you think like, oh yeah, you know, no, the strategy doesn't work. Yeah, no, the strategy, yeah, no, I don't really like it. It's like, it's bullshit, blah, 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 you know? Bro. What happened to gold? I don't know. On what time frame are you guys looking at? Like the 1 minute? Because when you guys talk about gold here, I'm like, whoa, shit is going down. Like we're tanking 5%, you know, like that's the feeling I'm getting. It's like, we're back at daily demand. We're back at daily demand right now. Forex gold is why is the stream lagging too much? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. Is it lagging for you guys? Let me know. I think it's pretty good actually. Nothing bad, nothing too bad, nothing too bad. Why didn't you take any shorts? My risk reward for my strategy would not be good enough. That's the conclusion. In this exact setup, right? In this exact trade setup. There's so many trade ideas and so many trades we take on a day-to-day basis, but this exact setup was not worth it for me to take at the time. Because if I would enter here, let's say I would take a short on, let's say, the 50-minute time frame, right? I would take an entry maybe there. I have to put my stop loss. Yeah. I mean, I cannot put it above the highs. I could in theory, but I would then target daily demand. I would not even reach a 1-to-1 restored ratio. And that doesn't work for my strategy, let's say, in this example. Yeah. Lorenzo, I appreciate your patience today. Yes. Well, it is what it is, right? We know exactly what we're looking for in order for us to execute a position. And you know, I'm not here to stream just to trade and just to take trades just because I want to do something or something. I'm not in it for that reason on stream, right? I'm here because I want to make money. I'm here to follow a winning system and to follow my own rules and things that we built for that. That's the only way for me to succeed. Right? It's a winner. It's a win. It's a winner versus winner mentality, right? It's like, if you have proven to yourself that what you do works for you, then stick to what works for you. And that's what matters. So if there is no trade for me today, I accept. I'm not here to please anyone, right? And to take a trade because I have to take a trade. Even though sometimes that urgency still comes up. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes that urgency still comes up. I'm like, should I just take this trade? Fuck it. No, fuck that. Fuck that. I have my own strategy. I'm here to beat, quote unquote, my competition. It's player versus player. I want to win. I know what works for me, so I have to follow what works for me. And that's the reason why we're here. Like, we're here to stay disciplined. We're not here to enjoy, to have fun. Yes, it's fun. It's enjoying. You know, we're having a good time. But we're here to make money. We're here to actually win and actually change something about ourselves and hopefully improve our lives, right? That's why we're here. At least that's why I'm here. There's this beautiful video. I'm going to watch it actually later on. And that's this video. And this is the perfect example for a lot of people here. And I haven't watched the video yet, but I will probably watch it later on. And it says, you lose, I'm looking at the thumbnail, I'm like, man, that's actually so interesting. You lose because you want excitement. You lose because you want excitement. Who recognizes this? Yeah, you might get a banger here and there, but do you really make money? Are you really profitable? Now, I'm going to watch this video for sure later on. If there's no trade, I'm going to watch this video. I want to see what it's all about because it's like a 50-minute video. I definitely want to watch it and see if it makes sense. How many trades have you then taken on stream over the last years? I mean, over 500. 400 live streams, 500 trades. But need deep emotional drive behind why you are trading. I agree. That's so true. That's so true. Like, what are the reasons why you guys are trading, for example? Like, what is the real reason why you're trading? Like, why do you want to make it happen? Like, why are you here watching? Why are you studying the charts day in, day out? Truth, why are we doing this? I want to retire my parents. To be financially free. I want to leave my country and I want to live in Asia. Where from? Sienna Andrew says, not work a wage slave job. Peter Mania, financial freedom and happy with no stress life. I want to travel to see the world, be able to stay in any country like I want. Yeah, everything is possible, right? It is all possible. But you have to put in the freaking work. You have to put in the freaking work. You have to just make it happen day in, day out. Are you committed? Are you willing to do that though? Are you willing to go through the pain? Are you willing to almost cry in your bed that you lost another account and that you are like almost wanted to give up, but you're still something in you tells you to still go, to still make it happen, to still come back to the charts again, to start over. Because you're gonna experience this. You're gonna experience this. If you want to change something, you have to change it now. You really have to change it right now. Like, the world is changing really fast. There's projected over the next coming years, around 20 million more retail traders are coming. 20 million more retail traders are coming. Either because they're losing their jobs, either because they're, the industry is growing still, the trend is growing. You want to be ahead of them. You can be if you put in the work now. That's the reason why. So this is the beautiful thing about the live streaming, and also the reason why I'm here is just to show you the pretty much the side, the reality of trading. Number one, the ups, the downs. I've been in crazy winning streaks on this channel. Crazy winning streaks. Like, I felt unstoppable. Crazy winning streaks. I also had a losing streak. That was really nasty too. That was really nasty. So, you know, we're here for you. We're here for that exact reason. Anyways, the euro is pushing. I think the dollar is the dollar going to break? Is the dollar actually going to break and reverse today? Is this what's going to happen? Lorenzo, what do you think is the best prop firm for Forex? FundedNext, I would say, is really good. They're I think the second biggest now after FTMO. I think FTMO is also really good. FTMO is a bit more expensive. FTMO is now available in the United States again. So if you're from the United States, I would say FTMO is really good. If you're not from the United States and you want to save some money and you just want a reliable prop firm, I would use FundedNext. What I like about FundedNext as well is if you hold trades overnight, you can actually have a function. It costs you a little bit more, but it gets you, it gives you a swap-free option. So you don't pay any swap fees. So if you hold trades longer than a day overnight, it's really nice to not pay any swap fees. Because you don't notice it, but that shit really, really kills you. Has your VIP in the Discord limited places? Yes. The only way to join our VIP is to schedule a call with us. So we actually know who's joining, right? Think about it this way. If you had a trading floor and you would let anyone into the trading floor, like it's a serious trading floor where people take trades, Vanessa, you know, where people are showing their trade setup and ideas every day. You want people coming in that are serious, right? You don't want one person to mess up what happens in the trading floor every day. Because we notice one rotten apple can ruin it all. So we want to at least have a call with you to know who you are and like just to get a feeling of you in order for you to join. So yeah, you can simply schedule a call if you're interested in it. It's in the description right here. And then we'll see you on the call. All right, the dollar is gonna break down. Fuck yeah. Dollar is gonna finally break down, right? All right, dollar is gonna break. Let's see if we close below here. That would invalidate our short buys for the euro. And this is why it's so important to wait for the right confirmation here on the 5-minute. I think today will not be trading there for me, guys. I can see it. Gold is pushing right into the demand zone again. We're pushing down and down and down into the demand. We're literally in there right now. You can see it. We responded from the same demand zone quite aggressively here. If price breaks and takes out that demand, that is really bearish though. That could really lead into a longer trend, longer bearish trend for gold as well here. But yeah, it's definitely not bullish. Rejection of the fix very low was not worth it for me from like a risk to reward standpoint. So yeah, I don't think I will take a trade on gold for sure. And then on the EURUSD, I think invalidating our bias right now if price will break down and the dollar would hold here. But if the dollar breaks down, this will set up a lot of really good setups. A really good setup trade ideas here. Dollar yen being one of those. If the dollar yen breaks down, it will be very nice. Dollar Swiss as well. NZDUSD is actually recovering, I've heard. Not really, not really. What is the strongest currency at the moment? The strongest currency is the Canadian dollar. Dollar CAD. Yeah, dollar CAD already showed us a CERC here. You can see that right there, right? From the fixed very low. So this might be a reversal. Like a reversal might be coming for the dollar Canadian dollar here. Definitely gonna focus, gonna see how the dollar CAD develops for sure. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Anyways, guys, for gold, we didn't get the breakout. We're back at demand, higher time frame support as well. We're pushing back down. If we break down clearly, that's going to be a longer bearish trend. If this holds somehow, which we still can, from this moment onwards, we just need to wait and see how price develops. And the euro is clearly reversing to the upside here, and I think we did it really good. We waited for the 5-minute confirmation of this range. Wait for this to be broken for us to take shorts. While price is now breaking higher, right? And this has to do with the dollar showing a lot more weakness right now at the moment too. So yeah, very interesting. Brother, why don't you think of this? Broke last high, 38.71. Can this be the retest to continue bullish? Well, if daily demand gets taken out, right, and supply is getting formed, when that's happening, let's say, then it's going to be really hard for gold to just turn around, right? It's not going to be that easy. You need to wait for price to pull back to the next zone. And the next zone is indeed, like you're saying, I think that's the reason why you're saying it, 38.87, right? So I would simply wait for the next zone to be hit. But if price gets there and it pulls back after it takes it out, yeah, I'm going to be only looking at short setups, clearly. Yeah. Clearly, yeah. I just don't want to short in daily demand right now at the moment. That's the reason why I'm not shorting it. Yesterday was the perfect short. This was the perfect setup. And today as well, during the London session. London session gave us a pretty good confirmation on the 50 minutes right there, underneath the point of control. Yeah. Yeah. Look at the EURUSD. Yeah, it's breaking out. Dollar is breaking down here. All right, that's it for me today, guys. I don't think I'm going to trade today. I think it's going to be a no trading day for me here. I don't see any clear setups that fit perfectly. I need to stay disciplined, man. I need to stay disciplined. Euro reversed. Now I need to wait for the highs. It will take some time here. Gold is back at that support here. So I'm going to watch this video later. It's called You Lose Because You Want Excitement. I'm going to watch this one. I'm going to see what it's all about here. 8 ugly trading psychology truths you don't want to hear. I'm going to get and work and do some mindset stuff. I'm going to see what I can learn. Sometimes it's just good to take a step back and just to go over and do some mindset. Just to get back into it again. Especially if you feel the urge to trade. Because I kind of have that urge. I have that urge to trade and to take trades. And also take trades that are, you know, lower quality setups. And if I feel that, I need to get back and watch some videos or something like that to get me out of that loop. You know what I mean? Not gonna be smart. Gold is holding that demand, the daily demand. So I'm very curious to see what happens here. I'm very curious to see if the daily demand will hold or if the daily demand will get taken out. It will give us a really good indication for the next coming days ahead of us here. Okay, daily demand holding or daily demand getting taken out. We're gonna see. Right now it's holding, but it's not really pushing higher, right? It's not really following through and pushing further to the upside there. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I want you to stay grounded, okay? Stay focused. Focus is your number one thing. Focus on trying to be focused, is what they say, right? I hope it will help a lot. I really want you to make a difference. And also ask yourself the question one more time, why are you doing this? What are the reasons you're trading? Are you trading for the excitement? Are you trading to actually turn your life around? These are two different things. I'm gonna come back tomorrow for you anyways. We're gonna be here. We're gonna sit it out. Thanks for the guys in the trading floor. Thank you, Ryu. Thank you, Vanessa, for coming on the stream real quick. Appreciate you guys a lot. You guys are amazing. And happy to have you in our community here. Okay? Much love, guys. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Peace out and stay cautious. See you soon. Ciao.
Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay, hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Fuck with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on to the next. Fuck this up, I send you back to your ex. But good luck with that, this is big as it gets. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Yeah. Oh shit, they don't let me shoot a whole clip. Firepower in this coalition. We just turned the field into a demolition. It was desolate, but I had premonition. I was training for war, every exhibition, every extra mission, every enemy listening. Get off my dick, I got bad intentions. Make it right every wrong, and I'm back with a vengeance. I show you the ropes. Beast in my town, I can show you the coast. Up in the shots if they wanted to smoke. If you know, then you know. Suited up, bitch, my whole team do the same. Don't you forget who created the game. Ready for war, I was born with grenades. The trenches where soldiers are made. Let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Let's see how you do